up? What up?
What's up, family? It's Christy with the Boxtruck Couple. Listen, in today's video, this is a requested video from a couple of our subscribers asking us how you can prepare for tax season. So I know that we're right here on the cusp of tax season now, but this will hopefully help new truckers to prepare for next year's tax season, and it's some helpful tips to keep in mind for your business. So let's get into it. First things first, I'm going to give you 5 ways to prepare for tax season. You want to start these tips at the beginning of your box truck business. If you stick to them and you're consistent with these 5 tips, you'll be successful when tax time comes around. First things first, a business bank account. Don't let anyone tell you you can use your regular bank account. Don't let anyone tell you you don't need a business bank account, because you do. So as soon as you get your LLC and your EIN, you want to make sure that you go ahead to the bank, whether you use a regular bank or a credit union, the choice is yours, but make sure that you have a business bank account. As soon as you set up the business bank account, you want to make sure that every transaction for your business either goes into or comes out of that business bank account. Trust me, it's going to make it so much easier for you to keep up with your expenses and keep up with your receipts for tax time. So that's the first one, business bank account. The second tip to help you prepare for tax time is QuickBooks. Now, you don't necessarily have to use QuickBooks, but you're going to need a tool, something like QuickBooks, to help you keep up with your transactions. What we like about QuickBooks is that when you connect your business bank account to your QuickBooks account, every invoice that comes in or payment and every transaction that goes out or expense is categorized in QuickBooks. It makes it so much easier to manage all of your electronic receipts. It makes it so much easier for your CPA or your tax accountant at the end of the year to review all of your transactions and help you to put your expenses in a category that will bring you deductions for tax season. The third options are receipts. Now, we just talked in the second category about QuickBooks or a tool like QuickBooks that'll help you manage those electronic receipts. But there are times when you receive paper receipts, right? Maybe you go to get your truck repaired, and you might pay or swipe with your business bank card, but they'll also give you a paper receipt, and you want to have a place to store those receipts. I know that you have it recorded through your bank account, but it's good to keep those paper receipts as well. I know when we purchased our truck, we had the electronic receipt where we purchased the cashier's check. We had a copy of the cashier's check. We had a copy of the bill of sale, and my accountant wanted all of those things. So you want to make sure that you have a place to store all of those receipts, and keep in mind that you have to keep those receipts as well as your tax documents for at least 5 years. Before we go any further, one thing I did forget to say that I want to make sure that you understand is there are times when you make a purchase or pay for something with cash because maybe you don't have it in your account, or you are in a position where you don't have your debit card, or you just need to pay with cash. That's another reason to keep your physical receipts, because your accountant can show proof or verify the income that you or the expense that you paid with cash, and that is also a deduction for your business. Keep in mind that you have to keep those receipts as well as your tax documents for at least 5 years. So it's a good thing to keep them all in one place. I personally like the accordion folders. This is the one for 2021. See how heavy it is? It's because every receipt that we received in 2021 is in this folder. I showed you in a previous video. Another thing that I like about these accordion folders is that you have labels, so you can organize them by month. I have a label for January through December in here. And then at the end of the year, when we did our taxes, I'm able to put those tax documents into this accordion folder. It's hard to do in this position. Close it up and store it in our storage location for 5 years. And then we started another one for 2022, and we have a new one for 2023. So you're able to keep all of your receipts. You're able to keep all of your receipts in one location and store them neatly somewhere where they don't take up a lot of space. So that's 3. We've talked about making sure you have a business bank account, linking your business bank account to a tool like QuickBooks, okay, so that you can manage all of your electronic transactions in one place, and then keeping up with your paper receipts as well, so you have them as proof when you go to talk to your CPA or tax accountant. Which leads us to the 4th tip. Make sure that you sign up with a CPA or a tax accountant as soon as you start your business. You want to do this now. It's not going to cost you any money to connect with a CPA or a tax accountant. They didn't actually charge us until they finished our first year taxes, and they charged us for doing the taxes. But you get free consultations. They tell you, what you need to do to prepare throughout the year. They'll start reminding you when it's time to submit your quarterly taxes, etc. But they'll help you early on to know what they expect from you, so that you guys can work together to have a successful tax year. Now, you may not be in Georgia. Our CPA is in Georgia. Her information will be on the screen. If anyone's interested, it doesn't necessarily have to be her. She may be overwhelmed with customers because I have referred her a lot. But if you're in Georgia and you're interested in talking to this CPA and getting some advice or signing up, or even with another CPA in the office, the information will be on the screen. And it doesn't necessarily have to be our CPA, but we do recommend that whoever you use to do your taxes already have experience in the transportation accounting. So make sure that you get a good CPA or tax accountant early on, so that you're better prepared for tax season when it rolls around. Now, last but not least, 5. The 5th tip is having a savings account separate from your business checking account. We have a business checking account for all transactions, but we also have a business savings account. Every time we are paid, every time an invoice is submitted to our bank account, we take 20% and immediately move it over to the savings account. It's our tax account. It's all the money that we put to the side for tax season. So 4 times a year, we're not scrounging to figure out how much we owe, to figure out how much we need to send in. We automatically move 20% over. Now, your tax accountant may say a different number. Our tax account advised 20%, and that's what we do. We move 20% over immediately. Yes, you want to keep all of your money, but if you were working on somebody's job, taxes would come out before you even get the check. So get in the mindset that taxes have to come out. And when you put that tax money to the side automatically, quarterly, you just tell your accountant, okay, I've got $5,000 put to the side for taxes. And then you and your accountant can determine how much you're going to send to federal and how much you're going to send to state. So let me give you an example. 4th quarter taxes were due January 17th. So I talked to my tax CPA and I said, I have this amount put aside for taxes. We determined that I would send, and I'll give you an example. Say we had $5,000 put aside for taxes. We would determine we would send $3,500 to IRS, which is federal, and the other $1,500 to the state, which is Georgia Department of Revenue in our case. So my tax CPA printed the tickets and emailed them to me. I was able to print them off, and it has a portion of it that you tear off. It's stick in an envelope along with your check or money order and mail to either the IRS or Department of Revenue. Makes it super easy. So that's why it's important to build a relationship with your CPA or tax accountant early on so that you're on top of every step of your tax journey. At the end of the year, you may even find out that they owe you money back because you sent them more than enough throughout the year versus having to figure out how much you owe and having a big amount that you have to send in at the beginning of the year. So I hope all of these tips were helpful. I hope that you're able to implement them into your business. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them down below. If you're not currently subscribed to the Box Truck Couple, make sure you do that. Follow us on all our platforms. We've got some great tips, some helpful tips over here. And as always, we enjoy making this video for you, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Money, 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 money. Let's go. We can talk some business if it's worth it. Ain't no question. I want money, 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 money.